is not about capital. 82% of businesses close because of cash flow problems, not because they didn't raise enough capital. Even though you have people running around here chasing, trying to get capital, trying to get these funds, and when they get it, they act like they want a Grammy or an Emmy award or something of that nature. The truth is, if being funded made you successful, then all these companies that raise millions and millions of dollars would still be around. We know it's not true. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm J.I. I've helped a lot of entrepreneurs start their business the right way, not the hype way. Today, I'm going to dive into cash flow and how cash flow is king and not capital. If you're chasing capital, you're chasing the wrong thing. If you're interested in learning the tips and strategies I have for making sure your business thrives and that you're successful, then I'm going to invite you to stick around, pay attention, and let's go for this ride. So first of all, what I'm going to do is share 3 things with you about cash flow and capital. And then I'm going to give you a little test to see if you're cash flow positive or if you're trying to set yourself up in business, whether you will be positive. Then I'm going to give you 3 things to safeguard yourself. So point number 1, capital is a Band-Aid, is not a cure. It cannot fix a broken business model, a broken ideal, a broken market, a broken audience. A lot of people go into business and they don't have the right audience. They don't have the market cap. They don't have the market size. They don't have the business model, and they don't think about this. And this is the reason why they die on the vine. So no matter how much capital you get, all it's going to do is financial mistake faster rather than making you successful. For all of you who think receiving some type of funding validates your business concept, your business model, wrong answer. It does not. The only time your business model, your business is validated is when a customer exchanges money for your service or your product, when you make revenue and traction. That's when you're truly validated. Because I guarantee you, if you are a startup burning cash more than what you're bringing in, you're going to go out of business no matter how much capital you have. A prime example of this, and I might be dating myself a little bit, you might have to jump on the internet to check it out, to find it for some of you folks, and that is a company called Webvan. I don't know how many of you remember Webvan. Webvan was the Instacart before the Instacart. They actually housed and delivered groceries. They went public and they were in the red and they didn't have positive cash flow. And guess what eventually happened? They went out of business. It wasn't a flawed business ideal. It was just an ideal before its time. So therefore, they didn't have the market size. And voila, that was it for them, period. So no matter how much money they had, the 771 million, it was just a Band-Aid, not a cure. Okay, on to number 2. Flow equals control. What do I mean by that? Cash flow is freedom. When you get investment money, you're a prisoner. When you have investors, they control everything you do. They control your branding, your marketing, your strategy. They even control your salary, the personnel you can hire. I believe that investors are more so people who are going to restrict creativity and the true vision that you had for your business. So if you want to actually have full control, you need to allow your customers to fund your business, not a boardroom full of VCs. This will give you leverage. It will give you optionality. It will give you independence and allow you to fulfill your vision the way that you truly wanted to do it. Now, there was a company that did this, a company called Forever 21. Husband and wife team, they actually built this up themselves. They owned it 100%. It never had a major investor whatsoever. It was their own cash flow that opened up almost 500 locations. The only thing that choked them out was that they didn't adapt to e-commerce. They didn't see the vision of the future, and that put them out of business. But what allowed them to start and grow and expand was the cash flow. If you want to control your business, let the consumers fund your business with cash flow. Now, number 3. So we're in 2025, and this is important for 2025 and for 2026. Now it's about profitability. It's not about how quick and fast we can grow you, not about how many users you can get. It's not about having that unicorn anymore. See, investors are looking for businesses that actually have a profit, that actually have a positive cash flow. So if you have a positive cash flow, guess what? You can get all the money you want. You can get money from banks, you can get money from investors. And on top of that, you can set up your own terms because, again, like in number 2, you're in control because you have cash flow. This is a quick test. This is a quick test that if you're in business now, how to see if you are cash flow positive for real or whether it's something that is not really solid. And if you're looking to go into business, this is a way that you can put a test together. So that way, when you move forward in the future, you can see when you are truly cash flow dependent. If you can go 6 months with fully operating your business at 100% capacity solely on cash flow, then you have a business. If you can't do that, then you have nothing but a gamble, a crapshoot, a blackjack game. This is called the flex test. If you, for some reason, flunk this test, I have 3 ways that you can safeguard yourself. And if you're looking to go into business, you might want to take note so that way you can use these things when you launch your business to safeguard yourself. Let's dive into those and then we'll be complete and you'll be ready to make that money. First one is revenue and customer payment. I'm going to give you ways to safeguard that. What you got to do is you have to set up net terms if you're invoicing. If you're getting money at the point of sale, then this is not for you. But if you're invoicing for services, you need to limit the time frame to be paid. I'm going to say 5 to 10 days, net 5, net 10. That way you get your money earlier. And you want to incentivize people for paying you early or on time. And one thing that I liked about this here is it also recommends that you diversify your clientele or your products or services. You want to make sure that you have multiple ways to be able to earn income within the same sector. So if I'm doing consulting work, I might have where people can do it yourself kits. And you have people who need in-depth one-on-one. Then I might have where you could do webinars and it has different price points. So therefore, if any of those start to dry up or have any problems pulling in more revenue from that area because of the audience, I'm able to make it up in other areas and not suffer cash flow wise. But if I just have one product, one service, one way of doing things, then I might find myself in situations when it trends and goes downward that I might suffer. So you want to diversify that. I love that one. That one was just absolutely amazing. Okay, I'm about to jump into number 2. I know somebody's gonna be like, man, some of this seem like it's obvious, but it's not as obvious as it seemed, or you wouldn't have 82% of people going out of business. Number 2 is gonna be expense and cost management. And you're like, yeah, dude, that's what I'm supposed to do. But how do you do that? Tell me, how do you do it? You got to run lean. How do you run lean? You have to be flexible. You have to look for the minimum viable way of doing things, period. Not looking for always the glam, sometimes getting straight to the point. Another thing that you need to do, you need to at least audit your expenses once a week. You need to know where your money's going and what areas that you can cut back on. That way you can be more efficient. And here's one that's opposite of the first part that I gave you. And when it comes to net terms, you need to go to your vendors and you need to negotiate and try to get a net 30, net 45, net 60, net 90, whatever they allow you to get. Because the longer you can wait to pay, the more you can keep that money in-house and the more it makes your cash flow positive. And this is a way of doing the reverse of what you're trying to do in number 1 when it comes to safeguarding yourself. This last one is really, 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 really good. This is one that we probably realize in our personal life that we haven't even thought about it when it comes to our business. If you're in business, you need to make sure that your inflow and your outflow are overlapping in the right way and they're matching. That you get your inflow before the outflow is due. So in other words, if you have bills that are due on 20th, you want to make sure that your invoices are getting paid on the 10th. You want your inflow before your outflow. Because if you have bills due before you receive money, then you're going in a deficit. You're going to be on the hook for paying these bills and not getting paid. That's why you want to make sure that you get your money first before paying it out. Now, here's the real test. Stop obsessing over pitching decks and obsess over cash flow statements. Yes, capital can help grow your company, take it to new heights, but cash flow is about your survival. And if you're an entrepreneur trying to put your business together to have positive cash flow, or if you're thinking about going into business and you want to set it up right from the start, I'm going to recommend you push the subscribe button right now and give me a thumbs up and put a comment down below So that way you can follow me, watch these videos, because I'm going to guide you the right way and help you be able to be successful with your business. This is your boy J.I., a random podcast. I will see you guys, check out these videos, on the other side.